The crew worldwide, from Cali to Twitter, real hardcore fans, boxing ass niggas, consistency cops, police the views, we'll pull up receipts for any debates you choose. Shout outs to Clan Archie for the dope production. Ring Gang stay with the best discussions. Ring Gang Radio.
We have a card coming this weekend on a Sunday of all things, and I personally support Sunday cards until football season comes back, because I need to be able to watch something on my table, on my TV with this cable, and Lord knows I paid enough for it. So we have a PBC on FS1 card that's main evented by Lamont Peterson versus Sergey Lipinets. Before we go into that one, the undercard, the co-main event, is Anthony Peterson, the brother of Lamont Peterson, and he is going to be facing who is he facing again? But he came out of left field because it was like, Anthony Peterson, he still fights, and
like that nigga been on a milk box since the Brandon Rios, like.
Yeah,
you need to run that back.
Yeah, because see, back then in 2009 or 10 or whatever, both were prospects, and there was an eliminator fight on HBO, and Rios probably showed his best performance as a boxer on the card, and it was kind of an honor because I thought Peterson was the better boxer, but Rios was giving it to him, fortunately, Anthony Peterson could not keep his hands up. He kept hitting him low, and then after about
Peterson in the fight, that's a sad part. Like it wasn't like he was getting worked to where he wasn't competitive. Like he had no hope. It's just he couldn't fucking focus.
Yeah, and then he got disqualified, and then rest is history. Anthony Peterson had been fighting on dark matches for like the last 9 years, and Rios went on, of course, to win the WBA lightweight title from Miguel Costa. So so now you have, 9 years later, you have Brandon Rios was pretty ruined, and you have.
But he'll be remembered.
Yeah, he'll be remembered.
I mean, because so far Anthony Peterson just remembered for being Lamont Peterson's brother.
Yeah, and yeah,
and Brandon Rios, we know Brandon Rios was so much shit.
Yeah, I still can't believe he lost control like that, bro. It was just like, damn it, Anthony Peterson, you fucked up. But he's facing Argenis Mendes. Yes, that's who he's facing, and so that should be an interesting fight. Mendes, of course, is his former champion. He has like 4 or 5 losses or whatever. But yeah. But he's on a 2-fight win streak against fairly good competition. So this is his probably chance to actually get back into the mainstream TV that he enjoyed when he was with HBO. So
yeah, this is a do or die for both them niggas, really. Like
if Anthony Peterson loses, then it was never meant to be. If Mendes,
and how this a better card than the pay-per-view card?
Yeah, that's this
fight is legit better than all. I digress.
Yeah, it's one of those things, man. You can't, like I said, the matchmaking of PBC is like broken clock syndrome, right twice a day. So every now and then they get it right at some point. And also with this card, on the prelims, which I think is televised now, we also have the return of Sakio Bika, the former super middleweight champion. Now Bika obviously is he's old. I mean, he must be in his 40s, 40, 41 or whatever. So to actually see a name like his on this card that will probably be televised in the prelims is pretty spectacular. Because it's wondering, because it's pretty much also be a showcase to see what does he actually have left in the tank. I mean, personally, I can't really see him.
Throwback card.
Yeah. Personally, I can't really see him making a run or belt or whatever, but That's weird, but Bika is teak tough. I mean, you can knock him down, but he's hard to knock out. You know, and even more so, if you're not in control of the fight, he will certainly take control of the fight and then put you through mauling you won't believe.
Yeah, you hardly ever see him completely outclassed where he doesn't do anything to his opponents. I'm trying to think like maybe the Superman
fight's the only one. Superman's the only one that I actually felt like he really did beat Bika. Like,
yeah.
Like the other ones, even the ones that beat Bika before, they all struggled. Kawasaki had a hard time. Ward had a hard time. You know,
Darrell.
Yeah, Anthony Darrell had I mean,
he had to do it twice.
Yeah. You know, yeah.
Yeah, poor soul.
Yeah.
Who wants to fight Bika twice?
Exactly, man. You know, Bika's not the one, man. He's tough. And it'll be interesting to see what he actually has left now that he's in his 40s. And then which brings us to our main event, you know, Lamont Peterson versus Sergey Lipinets. Now, this fight has a feel of a crossroads fight for me. I don't know why it does. I don't think it's crossroad material. It just feels like, because you have Lamont Peterson, who was coming off getting pummeled by Errol Spence, and then you have Lipinets, who's coming off what most people think is a gift against Eric Bonet.
And a pummeling from Mikey Garcia.
Yeah, and a pummeling from Mikey Garcia too.
Wow, is this like I feel like this the constellation prize. Like, they really matched both these guys up in the same fucking month?
Yeah.
A week apart? Like, what the fuck are they thinking? Like, could have just had this on the undercard. Like, why even separate it? Like, damn, like, these niggas is...
Yeah.
Yo, managing these niggas. Bruh, you could have easily had Peterson, Lipinets on the undercard of Garcia Spence, bruh.
Yeah, I mean, we could do it, but...
Who's managing these niggas?
Whoever it does needs to be fired, straight up and down.
Like, we really, let me fall back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does have this crossroads warrior vibe, like,
I know.
But it has that gritty, like, damn, we gonna get a good little scrap vibe too.
Yeah, because with Lipinets, obviously, with him, a loss will probably, you know, it will be hard for him. Most likely, he'll probably need to drop down at least. You know, there's, I don't see him being successful at 147 at all. For Peterson, a loss there will probably turn him into an opponent. You know, a career opponent, or the beginnings of a career opponent. So, I mean, my hope is
he's already jobber for the stars, but he always ends up getting getting one of these type of wins in a fight like this that extends his life some. Like, honestly, if you look at his history, it's like PBC does for Lamont Peterson what I felt like they failed to do for Devin Alexander.
Yep. That's actually...
This fight is basically the Felix Diaz fight again.
Mm-hmm. And I thought Peterson lost to Diaz too.
You know what? I thought he won that fight, but it could have been a draw. Like, because this is the thing, Peterson really worked the body good in that fight.
Yeah, he did.
Like, if you really, but it was a close fucking fight. I might have to rewatch that shit, but. If you had Diaz winning, I can't front on you. It was a close fight like that. So, but you see how Peterson got the benefit of the doubt in that shit. Like,
oh yeah,
like they won't let him win over a name like a Danny Garcia, but a guy that's a little below Peterson, they'll give it to Peterson if it's close enough. Mm-hmm. Just because he has that name where you could always let him fight a Spence or a Porter or a Danny Garcia or a Broner or you know, I know he's not going to fight Broner, but I'm just saying that.
And on top of that, of course, DC is his home area. You know, like I said, so I know pretty much anything outside of a knockout, you know, Peterson's going his way because so I still remember the stories that I heard from Peterson versus Amir Khan, and the fight was at DC Armory where a lot of Khan supporters were getting knocked out in the crowd because they forgot where they were. You know. Yeah, that shit was so fucking hilarious when I read that.
But I'm one of the few. I thought Peterson beat Khan. Fuck all that. Like, and I'm glad the ref took point for a Khan for that fucking pushing. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's his little cheat code, and a lot of niggas let him get away with it. And I'm glad somebody, you know, finally got him for that. But it just looked bad that the ref was over there by the IBF table and shit talking that whole controversy.
Yeah, so for Peterson, obviously, you know, he's also very hot and cold. Like when he's on, you get the Garcia fight, you get the Holt fight. When he's not on, you get the Diaz fight, or of course, other example, you get the Lucas Matisse fight, you know, which, you know, he got knocked out pretty badly, and so it's so Peterson
was on or off, nigga. He was just out.
So yeah, I mean, it'll be a good thing to see what he has left. And Lipinets, I'm not high on. You know, Lipinets is one of those people that, I mean, I actually, like I said, I mentioned before, I saw him live on the Charlo J-Rock card in California in USC Center, and his fight was the Facebook fight, where I think when PBC was trying to like do a Facebook only fight, except the stream ended up not working. But for the people who saw him in there against Lenny Z, I mean, you saw a bloody ass war. You know, but even watching that, you're thinking to myself, Lipinets is getting to a war with Lenny Z of all people. Like, he might not, might be a different thing. So, you know, Lipinets, you know, he won the title from a random Japanese person, and he struggled in that fight, especially near the end. And then, of course, he does give a better account of himself against Ricky Garcia because he was naturally bigger, and he still got knocked down, though. So it's just like Lipinets. This was
getting rocked by them punches, man.
What's that?
He was getting rocked by them punches.
Yeah, he was. So it'll be interesting to see if, like, I mean, there'll be no better person to check the temperature 147 for him, like Lamont Peterson. So I mean, I personally think Lamont Peterson will KO Lipinets for sure.
I think Peterson's gonna win, but I think him getting KO'd depends on what Peterson show up. But I think Peterson gonna win regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if the whole Peterson show up, yeah, Lipinets might get stopped.
Yeah. Straight up.
Peterson from the last 2 rounds of the Danny Garcia fight. If he show up, then yeah, that's just a wrap.
Yep, that's real talk. Oh man. So yeah, I mean, you gotta tune it in. It's on Sunday night, not Saturday, on PBC on FS1. I think the main card starts at 8 p.m. So make sure you write that down or anything like that. Yep, and see, hopefully, cross fingers, it actually turns out to be good as it's interesting on paper.